Hello children, welcome to AIMS India's online classes. This is biology session, transport in living beings. We have completed the lesson, and in today's video we are going to discuss about the questions which are repeated in the previous Olympiads and competitive exams from this lesson. So are you ready children? Before going to the lesson, typical concepts brief review for 2 minutes. What is plasmolysis? Or plasmolysis occurs due to osmosis. Okay, then what is plasmolysis? Plasmolysis is the shrinking of the protoplasm as a result of water loss by exosmosis. Okay, osmosis of two types, exosmosis and endoosmosis. Exosmosis means losing water. Water goes outside, movement of water molecules from inside cytoplasm to external environment. Endoosmosis means movement of water molecules from external environment into the cytoplasm through plasma membrane. Okay. So what is transpiration? The process of loss of water by the plant through stomata of the leaves is called transpiration. Okay. So water absorption by the root hairs occurs until what time? Until the water absorption by the root hairs occurs until, number one, there are two situations. The first one, concentration of water in the cell sap is higher, and the second, until the salt concentration in the soil is higher. These are the two situations where this absorption of water by root hairs continue. Okay, the stomatal opening or transpiration is influenced by the concentration of carbon dioxide in the atmosphere, nitrogen concentration in the atmosphere, and the temperature. Temperature influences the stomatal opening. Okay. So what is the essence of sap? Water in the plants is transported by, or ascent of sap takes place through the xylem tissue of the plants. Okay, it is the upward movement of water and minerals from the root to the crown, root to the topmost part of the plant. It may be the leaf or it may be the tip of the stem. Okay, so children, let us discuss the questions and the solution. What does xylem transport in a plant, or what is the function of xylem? Xylem transports water and dissolved sugars, water and dissolved mineral salts, only water only, sugar only. So xylem transports water and mineral salts. Then what is transpiration? What is transpiration? The movement of water from the root hair cells, the release of energy in plant cells, the evaporation of water from the leaves, transport of sugars from leaves to other parts of the plant. It is the evaporation of water from the leaves. How do root hair cells absorb water? By osmosis, by diffusion, or by active transport? None of these. By means of osmosis. Okay, the root hair cells covered by plasma membrane, so there is a difference in the concentration gradient. The movement of water takes place, okay, from high concentration pressure to low concentration pressure through the plasma membrane. It is the osmosis. Next, what is the movement of sugars through a plant cell. What is the movement of sugar through a plant called? Translation, translocation, transcription, transduction. It is the translocation of organic solutes. Which tissue is involved in this translocation? Phloem tissue. What happens to the transpiration rate as the temperature increases? As the temperature increases, transpiration decreases, or it stays the same, or it increases? None of these. Obviously, what happens? When the temperature increases, transpiration also increases, directly proportional. How are the xylem and phloem arranged in the plant roots? In the center of the root, in bundles near the edge of the root, evenly spread out across the root, or any of the above ways. So actually in roots, radial vascular bundles are present. So in the bundles near the edge of the root, these bundles are present, radial vascular bundles. Okay, like this. How means if it is the root, the vascular bundles are arranged like this. Okay. So each vascular bundle consisting of a xylem and a phloem. Okay, at the edge of the root. How are the sucrose and amino acids transported in a plant? Through the xylem, through the phloem, through xylem and phloem? None of these. It is through the phloem tissue. The sucrose and amino acids are transported. Why does water loss slow down if a plant is put into a plastic bag? Why does water loss slow down if a plant is put into a plastic bag? The humidity increases, the temperature increases, the light intensity increases, all of these. The humidity increases. What happens to the rate of transpiration if wind speed increases? Transpiration decreases, it stays the same, transpiration increases. None of these. Generally, there is no connection between the speed of the wind and transpiration, so it stays the same. Next, why does the rate of transpiration increase if the light intensity is increased? The humidity increases, which makes the rate of transpiration increase. The stomata open wider to let more carbon dioxide into the leaf for photosynthesis. The root hair cells become more permeable to water, letting more water into the plant and through the xylem. All of the above. Why does the rate of transpiration increases if the light intensity increases? If the light intensity increases, what happens? The stomata open wider so that more carbon dioxide let into the leaf for more photosynthesis. Okay. Due to low atmospheric pressure, rate of transpiration will increase, decrease rapidly, decrease slowly, remain unaffected. Due to low atmospheric pressure, the rate of transpiration increase. Guard cells help in transpiration, protection against grazing, fighting against infection, guttation. The guard cells are present in the stomata, they help in transpiration. The transpiration is regulated by the movements of subsidiary cells of the leaf, guard cells of the stomata, mesophyll tissue cells, epidermal cells of the leaves. The transpiration is regulated by the movement of guard cells of the stomata. Transport of food material in higher plants takes place through tracheids, transfusion tissue, companion cells, sieve elements. Transport of food material takes place by phloem tissue. So in the phloem tissue, these two, companion cells and sieve elements, especially the sieve elements, okay, they involve in the transport of food materials in higher plants. The rupture and fractionation do not usually occur in the water column in vessel or tracheids during the ascent of sap because of the rupture and fractionation do not usually occur in the water column in xylem vessels or xylem tracheids during the ascent of sap because of cohesion and adhesion forces, lignified thick walls, transpiration pull, weak gravitational pull. So actually there is no breakage in the water column because of the continuous transpiration pull. In which of the following plants there will be no transpiration? Plants growing in hilly regions, aquatic submerged plants, plants living in deserts, insectivorous plants. In aquatic submerged plants, there is no necessity of transpiration. Okay. Stomata are present on the dash of the leaves. Upper surface only, lower surface only, mostly upper surface, mostly lower surface. Mostly lower surface of the leaf possesses more stomata compared to upper surface. The plant cells that are full of water and rigid are called support cells, flaccid, turgid, none of these. When the sufficient water is present, then full of water, then the condition is turgid condition. Okay, stomata will open. Much of the transpiration in the plants takes place through stomata, lenticels, cuticle, epidermis. Much of the transpiration takes place through stomatal transpiration. The ascent of sap in plants takes place due to root pressure, transpiration pull, both A and B, osmosis. Actually, ascent of sap means movement of water molecules from roots to upper parts of the plant. It takes place through root pressure and transpiration pull, both A and B. Minerals are absorbed into the cells by osmosis, diffusion, active transport, all of these. Minerals are absorbed into the cells by osmosis. Okay, by diffusion water is absorbed, then by osmosis mineral salts are absorbed through root hairs. The liquid portion of the blood is called water, plasma, serum, sap. The liquid portion of the blood is called plasma. Transpiration is least in good soil moisture, high wind velocity, dry environment, high atmospheric humidity. In a high atmospheric humidity, transpiration is least. Minerals absorbed by the root move to the leaf through xylem, phloem, sieve tubes, none of these. It is the xylem minerals are absorbed. Okay. by osmosis. Due to low atmospheric pressure, the rate of transpiration will increase, decrease rapidly, decrease slowly, remain unaffected. So, low atmospheric pressure, high transpiration. Guard cells help in transpiration, protection against grazing, fighting. It's already completed. So, transpiration. Living cells placed in isotonic solution means equal concentration. 0.9% of saline is isotonic. So, retain their size and shape. This is based on the concept of facilitated diffusion, osmosis, transpiration. So, it is depends upon the concept of osmosis. Attraction of water molecules to polar surface is known as cohesion, adhesion, capillarity, surface tension. It is adhesion, glue like, it will attach water molecules due to presence of hydrogen bonds. Which of the following is not a purpose of transpiration? Supplies water for photosynthesis, helps in translocation of sugars from the source to sink, maintains shape and structure of the plants, transports minerals from the soil to all parts of the plant. It is here asked not a purpose of transpiration. Supplies water for photosynthesis, it is the purpose. Helps in the translocation of sugars, so this is not the purpose. Maintains the shape and structure of the plant, okay. Transport minerals from the soil to all parts of the plant, okay. So here the B option. Helps in translocation of sugars from source of sink. It is not the purpose of transpiration. Sinus venosus is associated with lung, kidney, stomach, heart. Sinus venosus, it is associated with the heart, especially the heart of amphibians and reptiles. They possess a blood vessel, it is called sinus venosus. Okay, it possesses a 3-chambered heart. So this is the blood vessel which is sinus venosus. Okay, it is the associated with the heart of amphibians especially. Example for open type of circulatory system: frog, earthworm, man, butterfly. Open type of circulatory system means the circulatory system in which there are no blood vessels. The blood flows in the body cavity or coelom. So it is they possess only blood sinuses, not the blood vessels. So example: butterfly, cockroach, insects. A 3-chambered heart occurs in lizard, frog, crow, dog. A 3-chambered heart occurs in frog, amphibians. Ventricle is incompletely divided in crow, cat, camel, lizard. So in reptiles the ventricle is incompletely divided. So here crow is a bird, cat is a mammal, camel is mammal, lizard is a reptile. So here lizard is the answer. The number of hearts in Megascolex. Megascolex means earthworm. There are how many pairs of hearts are present? 9 pairs, 8 pairs, 7 pairs, 6 pairs. If you take earthworm, there are two main blood vessels are present. It is a closed type of circulatory system only in earthworm. These two main blood vessels are called dorsal blood vessel and ventral blood vessel. They are connected by these hearts which are placed laterally. They are called lateral hearts. Okay. So there are so they are in pairs. Pairs means 2 2. So there are 8 pairs of lateral hearts are present in the earthworm. In earthworm, 8 pairs of lateral hearts are present. Okay, in pairs they are present. In pairs. Okay. Next, a 13-chambered heart occurs in snake, frog, cockroach, crow. So in cockroach, take a cockroach. The circulatory system is open type of circulatory system, but the heart is 13-chambered heart is present. Okay, like this. There are 13 chamber. Each chamber opens into the preceding chamber. This 13-chambered heart is present in the cockroach. Okay. So a 13-chambered heart is present in which animal? Cockroach. Okay, in snake, incompletely divided 4-chambered heart. In frog, 3-chambered heart. In crow, birds, 4-chambered heart is present. So 13-chambered heart here, cockroach. A 4-chambered heart occurs in fishes, birds, fishes and birds, amphibians, reptiles, reptile mammals, birds and mammals. So 4-chambered heart is first originated. A 4-chambered heart is first originated in birds. Okay, then mammals. So 4-chambered heart is present in birds and mammals. In fishes, 2-chambered heart. Amphibians, 3-chambered heart. Reptiles, incompletely divided 4-chambered heart, except in crocodile. Remaining all reptiles, partly divided 4-chambered heart. But in birds and mammals, 4-chambered heart is present. Next, which of the following blood vessel carries oxygenated blood? Pulmonary artery, hepatic portal vein, pulmonary vein. Okay, here all of the above. Okay, these 4 options are there. Pulmonary artery, it carry deoxygenated blood, so it is not. Hepatic portal vein also impure, so it is the pulmonary vein which carry oxygenated blood from lungs to the left ventricle. Okay, pulmonary vein. Deoxygenated blood is carried by 38. Once again here the oxygenated blood previously, now deoxygenated blood, pulmonary artery, hepatic vein, renal vein, all of these. So it is the pulmonary artery which carry deoxygenated blood. The threads formed during clotting are made up of thrombin, prothrombin, fibrinogen, fibrin. Okay, first in the blood clotting mechanism, prothrombin converted to thrombin. The presence of thrombin, fibrinogen is converted to fibrin. This fibrin will form the mesh-like structure which prevent the loss of blood. by the formation of clot. So the clot is nothing but a fibrin protein. Human circulatory system is called double circulation because of systemic and hepatic portal system, hepatic portal and pulmonary system, systemic and pulmonary circulation, systemic, hepatic and pulmonary circulation. So it is due to systemic and pulmonary circulation. So one circulation between the heart and body parts, another circulation between the heart and lungs. The circulation between the heart and body parts is the systemic circulation. The circulation between the heart and lungs is the pulmonary circulation. So as the heart is pumping the blood twice, it is a double circuit heart, and the circulation is the double circuit circulation. Pulse beat is measured in nerve, artery, vein, heart. So in artery the pulse beat is measured. Why? Because heart pumps blood directly into the artery. So the pulse beat is equal to the heartbeat, 70 times per minute. Thick muscular walls are present in arteries, arterioles, veins, venules. Walls here, not valves, WALL. So in arteries, thick walls, 3 layers, thick wall is present. Okay children, thank you for watching our video. Please subscribe our channel and press the bell icon for receiving latest updates.